Nobody taught you how to love yourself. Think about that for a moment. You were taught how to read, how to work, how to take care of everyone and everything around you. But how to genuinely take care of yourself, that was never part of the curriculum. And that gap, that missing education, is exactly why so many people keep struggling, no matter how hard they try. Most people are searching for how to love themselves, but no one ever showed them where to start. Today, we're changing that. 5 simple practices, real life, starting right now. If you're anything like most people, you heard the word self love, and part of you felt inspired, and part of you felt a little lost, because most of us were never really shown how. We grow up learning how to take care of everyone and everything around us, our jobs, our families, our responsibilities. But taking care of ourselves, really taking care of ourselves, that's not something most of us were shown how to do. So if you're standing at the beginning of this feeling a little unsure, that's not a sign that you're doing it wrong. That's a sign that you're human and that you're ready. The good news is this: self love doesn't require a dramatic life overhaul. It doesn't require hours of free time or a perfect morning routine or anything you don't already have. It lives in small, simple, daily choices, choices that anyone can make, starting today. So, today, I want to walk you through 5 simple ways to start loving yourself right now. Not someday, not when life slows down, not when you feel ready enough. Now. These aren't complicated, they aren't expensive, they don't require anything fancy. What they do require is a willingness to show up for yourself, maybe for the first time in a long time, or maybe just a little more intentionally than you did yesterday. Each one of these practices is something you can fold into your real life, your actual life, not the perfect version of it, the one you're living right now. And here's what I want you to remember as we go through these. You don't have to do all 5 perfectly starting tomorrow. Just pick one, the one that feels most like coming home. Start there. That's enough. That is more than enough. Number 1, speak to yourself kindly. This one sounds simple, and in theory it is. But if you actually pay attention to the way you talk to yourself throughout the day, really pay attention, you might be surprised by what you hear. Most of us have an inner voice that is relentless, critical, harsh in ways we would never dream of being with someone we love. You make a mistake, and the voice says, "How could you be so stupid?" You look in the mirror, and the voice says, "You need to do better." You fall short of a goal, and the voice says, "You never follow through on anything." And here's what your body does with that: it believes it, every single word. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between a cruel word from a stranger and a cruel word from yourself. It responds to both the same way, with stress, with tension, with the quiet message that you are not safe, that you are not enough. So, what does speaking to yourself kindly actually look like in a real day? It starts with something very gentle, just noticing. You don't have to fix anything right away. You don't have to be perfect at this. Just begin to become aware of the voice when it gets harsh. And when you catch it, pause, take a slow breath, and softly ask yourself one simple question: would I say this to someone I love? If the answer is no, and it usually is, see if you can try again. A little softer this time, a little more patient, a little more loving. You are not broken for having that voice. Most of us inherited it without even knowing. But you are here now, becoming aware. And that awareness, that one small, gentle act of noticing, is already an act of self love. Be patient with yourself as you learn this. You are not failing at self love. You are just beginning to practice it, and every single gentle moment counts. Number 2, rest without guilt. I want to ask you something. When was the last time you truly rested? Not scrolled through your phone, not half watched a show while your mind ran through tomorrow's to do list, but actually genuinely rested, with no agenda, no productivity attached to it, just stillness. For many of us, that question is surprisingly hard to answer because somewhere along the way, we absorbed a belief that rest has to be earned, that we have to be tired enough, busy enough, productive enough before we deserve to stop. But here's something I really want you to hear. Your body was never designed to run without rest. No living thing was. The flowers close at night. The tide pulls back from the shore. The seasons slow into winter so the earth can restore itself. Rest is not a weakness. Rest is not laziness. Rest is how living things survive and thrive. And here's what happens in your body when you chronically push through without rest. Your cortisol, your stress hormone, stays elevated. Your immune system weakens. Your mood suffers. Your ability to make loving choices for yourself diminishes. You simply cannot pour from an empty cup, no matter how much willpower you have. So, what does resting without guilt look like in a real day? It looks like giving yourself permission. That's it. Permission to sit quietly for 10 minutes without justifying it to anyone, including yourself. Permission to go to bed when your body says it's tired instead of pushing through one more hour. Permission to do something restorative in the middle of a busy day and trust that the world will not fall apart while you breathe. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to deserve stillness. You are a living, breathing, feeling human being, and that alone is reason enough to stop and restore. Start small if you need to. 5 minutes of quiet, a slow cup of tea with no phone in your hand, a few deep breaths with your eyes closed. Let that be enough for today, and tomorrow, maybe a little more. Rest is not the opposite of productivity. Rest is how you become someone who can show up fully for yourself and for everyone you love. Number 3, nourish yourself intentionally. Food is such a complicated topic for so many of us, and I want to approach it gently here because I know that for a lot of people, the relationship with food carries a lot of pain, restriction, guilt, shame, the endless cycle of being good and then falling off and starting over again. And so much of that pain comes from the same root we talked about in our first video. When we don't fully love ourselves, we often either deprive our bodies as a form of punishment or we fill them in moments of emptiness, trying to soothe something that food was never meant to heal. Neither of those is nourishment. Neither of those is self love. So, what does nourishing yourself intentionally actually mean? It means shifting the question. Instead of asking, is this allowed? Is this on my plan? Will I regret this? You begin to ask something softer, something kinder. How will this make me feel? What does my body actually need right now? Am I feeding myself or am I trying to fill something else? Those questions don't come from a diet. They come from a relationship, a loving, attentive relationship with your own body. Nourishing yourself intentionally doesn't mean eating perfectly. It doesn't mean following a strict plan or never enjoying food or counting anything. It means bringing a quiet intention to the way you feed yourself. The intention of, I matter, my body matters, and I am going to take care of it the way I would take care of someone I deeply love. In practical terms, it can look like this: sitting down to eat instead of standing over the sink, putting your phone away for one meal a day and actually tasting what you're eating, choosing one thing this week that you know makes your body feel genuinely good and eating it not because you have to, but because you want to feel well. Gentle, intentional. That is where it begins. Your body has been with you every single moment of your life. It has carried you through everything. It deserves to be fed with love. Number 4, move your body with joy, not punishment. I want to gently challenge something that the fitness world has been telling us for a very long time. That exercise is something you do to fix yourself, to burn off what you ate, to shrink yourself, to earn your body back after you've been bad. And for so many people, that message has made movement feel like a sentence, something to dread, something to endure, something you either white knuckle your way through or avoid entirely because it just feels like one more way you're not doing enough. But here's the truth that gets lost in all of that noise. Your body was made to move, not as punishment, not as penance, but as one of the most natural and joyful expressions of being alive. Think about children for a moment. Nobody has to convince a child to move. They run and jump and dance and spin just because it feels good to be in a body. That joy is still inside you. It didn't disappear. It just got buried under years of being told that movement had to hurt to count. That if you weren't pushing yourself to exhaustion, you weren't doing it right. What if that simply isn't true? Moving your body with joy looks different for everyone. For some people, it's dancing alone in their kitchen to a song that makes them feel alive. For others, it's a slow walk in the morning air, noticing the world waking up around them. It might be swimming or stretching or gardening or chasing your children around the yard. It doesn't have to look like a gym. It doesn't have to be intense. It doesn't have to hurt. It just has to feel like something you are doing for yourself, not to yourself. This week, I want to invite you to try something. Let go of the idea that movement has to be a workout. Instead, ask yourself, what does my body actually enjoy? What form of movement makes me feel alive, energized, present in myself? And then go do that. Without guilt, without a calorie counter, without needing it to be anything other than a loving gift to the body that carries you through this life. When you move from love instead of punishment, everything shifts. You stop dreading it and start craving it because your body knows the difference between being pushed and being celebrated. Celebrate your body today. It has earned it. Number 5, spend quiet moments with yourself every single day. This one might be the most powerful practice of all 5, and also the one that makes the most people uncomfortable, because in a world that is louder than it has ever been, notifications and noise, and the constant pull of everyone else's needs and opinions and content, the idea of sitting quietly with yourself can feel almost foreign, maybe even a little scary. And I want to gently ask, why might that be? For a lot of us, the busyness is not accidental. We fill every quiet moment because quiet means we might actually have to feel something, hear something, face something we've been moving too fast to look at. And so we keep scrolling, keep rushing, keep filling the silence with anything that will keep us from having to sit with ourselves. But here is what I know to be true: you cannot love someone you never spend time with, and that includes yourself. The relationship you have with yourself is built in the quiet, in the still moments when you check in and ask, how am I really doing? What do I need today? What is my heart trying to tell me that the noise keeps drowning out? Those moments are not wasted time. They are the most important investment you can make in your own well being. Because everything else, the habits, the choices, the way you treat your body and speak to yourself, flows from how well you know and understand your own inner world. So, what does this look like in a real day? It doesn't have to be an hour of meditation. It doesn't have to be perfectly silent or spiritually profound every time. It can be 5 minutes in the morning before anyone else wakes up. A few slow breaths before you get out of your car. A short walk without headphones where you simply let your thoughts settle like snow in a glass globe. It can be journaling, even just a few lines. It can be prayer. It can be sitting with a warm cup of something and looking out the window and simply being present with yourself for a few moments before the day takes over. Whatever form it takes, give yourself that time. Protect it. Treat it as sacred, because it is. You are worth knowing. You are worth listening to. And the more time you spend in that quiet place with yourself, the more clearly you will hear what you need. The more naturally self-love will flow, because you will finally know yourself well enough to care for yourself fully. Sweet friend, you have been available to everyone else for so long. Be available to yourself too, even just for a few quiet minutes today. That is where the magic lives. So there they are, 5 simple ways to start loving yourself today. Speak to yourself kindly. Rest without guilt. Nourish yourself intentionally. Move your body with joy, not punishment. And spend quiet moments with yourself every single day. None of these require perfection. None of them require you to have it all together. They just require one thing: a willingness to show up for yourself again and again, as gently and as lovingly as you can. And here's what I want you to remember: you don't have to start all 5 today. Just pick one, the one that called to you, the one that made something stir inside you when you heard it. Start there, just there, and let that one small act of love be the beginning of something beautiful, because it will be. I promise you that. Which of these 5 practices are you going to try first? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear. If this video resonated with you, I created something just for you. The Self-Love Spark, a free guide to help you build this foundation. You can find it in the description below. And if this feels like home, subscribe. There is so much more to explore together. And when you're ready, there's another video here for you. Take care of yourself. You deserve it.